If you think crypto is just about dog coins, pump and dump scams, and millionaires made overnight, think again. Right now, crypto is one of the most talked about topics in tech and finance. It's in the news, in group chats, and in your cousin's latest investment scheme. But despite all the noise, most people still don't really understand what crypto is or what it can do. For many, it feels confusing, overwhelming, sometimes even sketchy. You've got influencers hyping meme coins, projects disappearing overnight, and headlines shouting about scams or sudden collapses. It's easy to dismiss the entire space as a joke. And to be fair, some skepticism is healthy. There have been bad actors. There are tokens with no purpose. But that's not the whole story. The deeper truth is that blockchain technology, what powers crypto, is already solving major problems in finance, data, identity, and trust. Behind the speculation is a set of tools that are transforming how the world works. This video isn't about quick flips or trading tips. It's about real innovation. It's about use cases that are here now, changing lives, businesses, and digital infrastructure. Today, we're cutting through the hype and exposing 5 real crypto use cases that go way beyond speculation. These aren't just coins. These are the building blocks of the next internet. Let's dive in. First up, cross-border payments. Right now, sending money from one country to another can take days and eat up 10% or more in fees. For families relying on remittances, that's a huge burden. Enter Ripple, XRP, and Stellar, XLM. These networks enable fast, low-fee transactions across borders, using blockchain to settle in seconds rather than days. Ripple partners with traditional financial institutions. Stellar leans toward open-access financial inclusion. But both are tackling the same outdated system. Let's break it down. With XRP, a bank in the US can send value to a partner in Mexico almost instantly, without waiting for SWIFT approval, intermediary banks, or business hour constraints. Stellar takes a similar approach but aims to serve the underbank directly. Real-world use: SBI Remit in Japan, Tempo in Europe. Even MoneyGram is exploring Stellar rails. This isn't experimental, it's in motion. Whether it's a global corporation moving millions or a migrant worker sending $100 back home, the core value is the same: faster, cheaper, more transparent money movement. And there's more clarity now than ever before. After years of regulatory uncertainty, Ripple scored a partial legal victory in its court case with the SEC. A U.S. judge ruled that XRP is not a security when sold on public exchanges. That ruling was a major step forward for the industry. It brought legal precedent, boosted confidence, and showed that crypto projects can stand up to scrutiny. It's not about hype. It's about access. Narrator. We live in an era where data is everything. Photos, research, government records, social media posts, it's all stored in the cloud. But that cloud is just someone else's server, often run by a handful of massive companies. And when those companies fail, censor, or collapse, your data is at risk. That's why decentralized storage matters. Let's talk data. Centralized cloud storage giants like Amazon and Google dominate the web. But what happens when they go down, censor content, or delete your files? Filecoin, Phil, and Arweave, AR, offer decentralized, resilient storage networks. Filecoin lets you rent out your extra hard drive space, forming a global file storage system that's efficient and censorship resistant. Think of Filecoin like Airbnb for storage. Instead of relying on Amazon's data centers, your files are split, encrypted. We live in an era where data is everything. Photos, research, government records, social media posts. It's all stored in the cloud. But that cloud is just someone else's server, often run by a handful of massive companies. And when those companies fail, censor, or collapse, your data is at risk. That's why decentralized storage matters. Let's talk data. Centralized cloud storage giants like Amazon and Google dominate the web. But what happens when they go down, censor content, or delete your files? Filecoin, Phil, and Arweave, AR, offer decentralized, resilient storage networks. Filecoin lets you rent out your extra hard drive space, forming a global file storage system that's efficient and censorship-resistant. Think of Filecoin like Airbnb for storage. Instead of relying on Amazon's data centers, your files are split, encrypted, and distributed across thousands of independent providers around the world. It's a marketplace where people with extra storage get paid to store data, and it's entirely permissionless. Arweave focuses on permanence. Imagine a library that can never be burned. Data is stored forever. That's why it's used by the Internet Archive and even NFT platforms. Arweave is different. It's designed for permanence. What it calls the permaweb. Once you upload a file, it's there forever, with one-time payment economics. Ideal for journalism, legal records, scientific papers, and public archives. No subscriptions. No deletions. In fact, Arweave has become a favorite for storing controversial or vulnerable content, where long-term preservation matters more than control. This isn't theory. It's working right now. From NFT metadata to decentralized apps and DAOs, decentralized storage is already part of Web3's backbone. As we move toward a world that values privacy, resilience, and freedom of information, these tools will. Let's talk about the backbone of any economy: finance. Traditional banking systems have long been gatekeepers, slow, expensive, and often exclusionary. Over 1.7 billion people worldwide are unbanked, meaning they don't have access to basic financial services like savings, credit, or even the ability to send money. And even those with access are stuck with outdated infrastructure. Wire transfers can take days. Interest rates on savings accounts are abysmal. Getting a loan requires paperwork, collateral, and often a good credit score, which many people simply don't have. Decentralized finance, or DeFi, flips this on its head. It replaces traditional intermediaries, banks, credit unions, brokerages, with smart contracts on public blockchains. It gives anyone with an internet connection the power to interact with financial tools, trustlessly. Traditional banking excludes over 1.7 billion people. Even those inside the system face fees, credit checks, and central control. Decentralized finance, or DeFi, flips the model. Projects like Aave, AAVE, and MakerDAO, DAI, enable borrowing, lending, and earning interest, all without a bank. Let's take Aave. It's one of the largest DeFi lending platforms. Here's how it works. You deposit your crypto, say, USDC or Ethereum, into a pool. Other users can borrow from that pool by locking up their own crypto as collateral. Interest rates fluctuate based on supply and demand. Everything runs automatically via smart contracts. No bank manager. No paperwork. You can lend, borrow, or even flash loan, instantly borrowing and repaying in a single transaction, enabling complex trading strategies. MakerDAO, on the other hand, pioneered decentralized stablecoins. Its token, DAI, maintains a peg to the US dollar but isn't backed by dollars in a vault. Instead, it's collateralized by crypto like Ethereum. Users lock up ETH in a smart contract and mint DAI against it, essentially creating a loan. The system automatically adjusts based on market conditions to maintain the peg, making DAI resilient and transparent. Unlike USDT or USDC, DAI is not controlled by a centralized issuer. Today, there are tens of billions locked in DeFi protocols. People in Argentina, Nigeria, and the Philippines are using these tools to protect savings from inflation, to access loans in ways their local banks can't support, or to earn real yield on assets in a way traditional institutions no longer provide. And while risks exist, smart contract bugs, volatility, and regulatory crackdowns, the innovation is undeniable. Welcome to the future of finance. Not just faster, not just cheaper, but fairer. Narrator. Let's talk about trust, and the gap between code and reality. Blockchains are powerful, but they're closed systems. They can only verify what's on chain. So what happens when you need a smart contract to respond to something in the real world? Prices, temperature, GPS locations, election outcomes. Blockchains don't know those things on their own. That's the Oracle problem. And Chainlink, Link, is solving it. Crypto can't change the world without real-world data. Smart contracts are powerful, but they need accurate, external inputs to trigger events. That's where Chainlink, Link, comes in. It's an Oracle network that connects blockchains to real-world data. Prices, weather, sports scores, even elections. Think about crop insurance that auto-pays if it doesn't rain. Or a ticketing system that adjusts prices based on demand. Chainlink brings verified, tamper-proof truth to blockchains. It's used across industries, by Google Cloud for hybrid blockchain solutions, by Swift for banking data interoperability, and by dozens of DeFi platforms for secure price feeds. Without reliable data, smart contracts are blind. With Chainlink, they can execute based on real-world events with confidence. This is infrastructure-level tech. It's what enables decentralized insurance to automatically pay out after a hurricane, prediction markets to settle correctly, and NFTs to reflect dynamic data, like fantasy sports scores or real-world weather. As the line between digital and physical blurs, Chainlink is becoming the connective tissue for trustless automation in a hybrid world. Let's zoom in on something we all take for granted: our identity online. Think about how often you log in using Google, Facebook, or Apple. Convenient? Sure. But it also means a few massive corporations hold the keys to your digital self. Your name, your email, your behavior, your social graph. It all lives in their walled gardens. Crypto is rewriting that paradigm. It's giving you the tools to own your identity, your credentials, your reputation. Who owns your identity online? Right now, it's probably Facebook, Google, or Apple. Crypto wants to change that. Projects like Ethereum Name Service, ENS, and WorldCoin, WLD, are pioneering self-sovereign identity systems. These aren't just login tools. They're the beginning of a more secure and user-owned web. ENS, short for Ethereum Name Service, lets you register a .eth domain that acts as your universal crypto identity. That name can point to your wallet, your content, even your website. Instead of a random 42-character address, people can send you tokens to yourname.eth. It simplifies interaction and enhances trust, all while you maintain ownership through a smart contract. WorldCoin is more controversial but equally ambitious. It aims to solve a major problem in the AI age: how to verify that someone is a real, unique human without giving up their personal information. Its biometric orb device scans a user's iris to issue a privacy-preserving identity token. The goal? Create global proof of personhood that can't be faked by bots or deepfakes, and could one day become a digital passport for humans online. Together, ENS and WorldCoin represent two sides of the identity revolution: human-readable identity and human-verifiable uniqueness. In a future where bots and misinformation run rampant, and centralized logins come with strings attached, these tools could be the foundation for a more democratic, secure digital existence. So next time someone tells you crypto is just hype, remember this. Real utility is already here. It's powering faster payments, storing data forever, reinventing finance, linking real-world data, and giving people back control of their identity. These aren't just coins. They're tools. Infrastructure. Innovations. But here's the real question. Where does it all go from here? Will crypto become a tool for economic freedom, or for surveillance and control? Will it democratize opportunity, or centralize power in the hands of tech elites? Will decentralized identity liberate us from big tech, or just shift the power structure to a different set of players? These tools are neutral. What matters is how we choose to use them. Are you excited, hopeful, cautious, or maybe all of the above? Are you bullish on what crypto can do, or scared of where it might lead? Let us know in the comments. And if you made it to the end of the video, drop a bullish in the comments so we know you're part of the forward-thinking crew. Which of these blew your mind? Which one are you most excited about? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more deep dives like this one, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who still thinks crypto is a scam. You're watching a CTUEXPRESS. Decoding the future of finance, one block at a time.